It's nice to have you here. Welcome to the interview. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I see you've got Lisa Loeb behind you. Very cool.
And you want to know the funny thing about that record is?
Tell me.
It's on my, I think it was 31st birthday.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
That's so crazy. Wait, so did you just get the record? Did you meet her? Did you get?
I got the record, saw her in concert, got her to autograph it.
That's crazy. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I feel like I should put on glasses right now and grab a guitar.
That would be fun, but I'm not sure we have time for it.
I know we don't have time for that. No, yes, let's focus on the task at hand.
Let's focus on you. You are the star of the series She's the Boss, which is on Thursdays, 10:30, 9:30 Central on USA Network. We have Nicole Walters. How are you doing today?
I'm doing so great, Dean. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for talking with us on the interview. The first thing we got to talk about is you grew up in the DMV, since I'm from the DMV myself. So first of all, you got to talk about your DMV roots. Where are you from? Where you grew up and all?
Yes. So I actually grew up in Adams Morgan, but back when Adams Morgan wasn't Adams Morgan, right? So it was, an immigrant center. So that was where my parents, settled down. And I was really blessed. My dad drove for DC Diamond for 40 years. Yeah, wow. For 40 years, drove a cab. And my mom worked in Georgetown at the observatory, which is a pretty, a big apartment complex at the front desk. So that's my roots. I was blessed to get scholarships to go to private schools. So I went to Beauvoir and I went to St. Patrick's Episcopal and then eventually Sidwell. So that's my background and my roots, but I'm very much a DC girl.
Absolutely. And since you moved from DC, and I believe you're in Atlanta, so what do you miss about the DMV?
Oh my gosh, what don't I miss about the DMV? So I am a Southern girl at heart. I do love, all things Southern and niceties and all that, but I miss the sort of straight to the pointness of DC, right? In the South, you've got to talk people's tennis. You've got to ask about their kids. In DC, people just want to get to business because they have places to go. So that I miss. And then I also miss a good mumbo sauce, right? Like there is not a corner sauce. There is people don't even know what that is. They're like, is it like barbecue? It is not like barbecue.
Oh yes, you got to have mumbo sauce. If you don't know mumbo sauce, you're not from the DMV.
You're not from the DMV. That's right.
Well, you're definitely a DMV. Definitely true and true. So how did you feel when the USA Network approached you to create a show around you and your family? And your best friend.
My best friend, right. No, so it was interesting because you never realize that you may have a story to tell until you kind of see it through other people's eyes. So for us, we're just living our life, and that's what's fun about the show is when you watch it, you can tell we're just a real family. We're having a good time. We're totally relatable, but we also get into some hijinks and have a lot of laughs that go along with it. So it was cool when they approached us because I was happy to share, a new family and what it looks like with the rest of the world.
Absolutely. And you're one of the very few true African-American families that we see on television. So I'm glad you brought that to the forefront.
Yeah, no, it's exciting to be able to put out an image of a positive, Black family being successful. And that isn't actually the sole storyline of it. I think that too often you see a lot of shows where that is the story, where it's like, oh my gosh, there's this Black family. How weird is that? Let's talk about just that. But no, it's like they happen to be Black, but they're just a family, and that's really cool to watch.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I love about the show is offers a positive representation of Black adopted families. So I definitely give you kudos for that.
Thank you.
I want to know, what would you say to people who would love to adopt children one day?
Well, I think that, first, I love that what you said is a call out, not just adopted families, but older kids. So, oftentimes people think of adopting children as babies, but, I got my girls at 3, 11, and 14, so it's this great image of families made in lots of different ways. And especially within the Black community, listen, we're always raising everybody's kids, whether they're coming by or getting fed or we're correcting them in church or, on the block, like either way, adoption, it kind of runs in our blood, and I just hope that our show shows that it's possible to build a beautiful family that's successful no matter what.
Absolutely. Now, what did you want it to show when it comes to balancing family and your career? when it
Oh,
comes
wow. I wanted it to show that it's not possible, right? I think that it's too easy for us to put a lot of pressure on ourselves to be all the things. So even if it's not just about family, it's, man, what about my social life? Or, I need to be about the grind and the hustle. And I think that this shows that, look, like, you're only going to ever do the best you can, and you will definitely drop some balls. And so I think that no matter what, anyone watching the show can pick that up. They can say, look, here's someone who's actually doing pretty well for herself, but hardly has it all together and is definitely imperfect and still learning every day. And I'm hoping that's freeing and people can also laugh at my mistakes.
Absolutely. If it's possible that you can laugh at mistakes, especially since, I'm a reporter, so I have to laugh at my mistakes when that happens.
Yes, real life.
Absolutely. So I heard that you called yourselves and you had it on the promo, the Weird Walters. So I have to ask the reason, what makes you guys weird?
We are weird because I don't think that we're aware of how awkward and open we are as a family. So we talk about everything. I mean, if our nanny is going on a date, we're coming in to talk about the date. If our daughter is going on a date, well, guess what? We are all dating as a family, So, I mean, these are things that at first I didn't think was so weird until we started filming. Dean, I had people, the camera guys behind these cameras, cracking up. And I'm thinking to myself, we're just living. I don't get it until I watched the show. Then I was like, oh, that's why we're the Weird Walters. That would be why.
And you have this wonderful best friend, Eddie, the ultimate Manny. I think we all want to adopt him one day. But how did you meet Eddie? And when he was approached about the show, was he fully on board about being out there in front of millions of people in America and around the world?
Yeah. So, I mean, we met Eddie, or I met Eddie in the mall. You're right. So I always tell my daughters, don't bring home a guy you met at the mall, right? Because this is what could happen. You know what I mean? This is what could happen. So yeah, we met Eddie, and years before the show was even, something that was coming to light. So Eddie didn't know. He signed up to work with me. And to this date, I think he's still trying to figure out what exactly the job is, but he does have the whole eating my food and living in my house thing down. And, he really is more like a fourth son and a member of the family at this point. So we love him, and Eddie's a character. He's definitely a character.
Yeah, he definitely is. And we have grown to love him over the past few weeks. Now, I read that you quit your executive position at a Fortune 500 company live online, which I don't feel any of us can ever claim. And I want to know, what in the world spurred on that moment that is like, okay, I'm done. Goodbye.
Yeah, so I'd been building my side hustle, if you will, my consulting firm, Inherit Learning Company. And, I provide solutions for everyday entrepreneurs, so that they can be successful in their own right, legal, financial, you name it. So I had clients, that were coming on board, and eventually got to the point where I kind of had to take a spoonful of my own medicine. I'm helping them be successful. It's time for me to go full time also. And so people have been watching me share that journey online, and they still are watching me build this business. And it was authentic to also share that part of the story. So when the quit day came, I filmed the whole thing. And fortunately, it went very well. My boss was very kind and generous. And I'm grateful to say that I'm here and the business is thriving.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad to hear it. So as a business owner, what key advice would you give to fellow business owners who feel they are struggling, that it's not going well, that they want to give up? What piece of advice would you say? Don't give up, keep going, it will happen, you'll be successful down the road?
I mean, Dean, you're right there nailing it. Okay. I think that is the truth is, unfortunately, because of the world of social media, everyone looks like they are getting success in a microwave minute. But the reality is the people that sustain success are looking at crock pot success, right? So it's got to be slow cooked. You've got to be patient, and you have to make sure that you're doing all the work, because honestly, who wants a business fast if it's not going to be there in the long run? And so it's why I take so much pride in working with my clients to show them strategies to not just make a dollar, but to also keep it. So that would be my advice. Stick with it, because the longer you're working at it, the longer it's going to last.
I'm glad to hear it. Aside from your business and your family, what do Nicole like to do in her spare time?
I like to buy a good wig. I love a nice lunch, but these are all things that I like to do with Eddie. No, in my free time, I'm, a vacationer. I like to read, and I garden. Believe it or not, as extroverted and as fun as I am with my family and with the world, when I turn everything off, it's really about just being quiet and introverted and enjoying myself that way. But it's hard to do in this crazy house. There's always something going on.
I definitely agree. Since you mentioned vacationing, where would you like going? Where are your favorite vacation spots?
As soon as this world opens up, I am headed back to Jamaica. So Jamaica is one of my favorite places to go, not just because of the beautiful beaches and the amazing people, but it feels like home. My parents are from Ghana, West Africa, and Jamaica has a lot of those cultural roots that I really identify with through the music and the food. And so I really do consider it a home away from home. I used to travel, oh my gosh, 4 or 5 times a year, so it's been a big difference, but I can't wait to go back to my home away from home.
Excellent. That's great to hear. Now, Chrissy, your middle daughter, was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma back in 2019. And in a recent interview, you were told that she is cancer-free. And I'd like to know, and I have a feeling our audience would like to know, how is she doing right now today?
She's every bit of a traditional teenager. And we are so grateful that she is healthy and well, but she is, I'd like to say her life status is touch and go because she drives me crazy. Okay. So as a mom, I'm so glad that God saved and kept her so she could just be here to try to kill me every day. Okay. Like 5 minutes ago, no joke, Dean, I'm yelling at her about, what'd you eat for breakfast? Oh, I just made a chicken salad sandwich. Is that breakfast food? No. Are you hungry for lunch? Well, I had a big breakfast. What did I just tell you? Should have had a bowl of so, for anyone who's worried about Chrissy, she's just fine. She's doing very, very well.
So you run oh my goodness, I gotta get some composure.
These kids.
You're right. You run a successful podcast, or you run a successful business. You're in a reality show. Is there anything that you haven't done that you would love to do one day?
Yeah, I'd love to be a person who could walk out in public without a pair of Spanx on. So I'm still working on that. Do you know what I mean? Still working on that. Got to get back in the gym. I have to live my truth, Dean. I do a lot of things really well, and there's a lot of things I don't do well. So, it's trying to figure all that out. But yeah, no, I'm excited because next up, I haven't written a book before, so I'm working on that. I'm really excited to share more of the story. A lot of the questions that you have awesomely asked here, people want to know more about, so we're going to put all that into a book and share that with the world soon. So that's what's next.
Well, if you come out in a book, you got to call me.
Let 100%.
Me know, I will want to buy it and interview for it,
Oh, you better believe it, Dean. I couldn't imagine not keep you on this list because you have to tell me the full Lisa Loeb story. I know for a fact that there's more to that, and I want to know everything that happened.
Well, I'm not sure how much time we have, but to let you know, the album didn't have the album title cover. So when she autographed it, she put the title of the album, No Fairy Tale, on that. So that's
no way.
That's why it's framed. That's why it's up here. That's why
it's a one of a kind, like exclusive, not even worthy of eBay. I love it.
No, trust me, it's not going on eBay. It's it's like I'm keeping it there. And I got 5 minutes left. So I got, oh my gosh. I just asked all my questions. Oh my goodness. Wow.
I love it. No, this is great though. I have questions for you. So right now you're telling me that you are still in the DC area, right? Yep. Now, how do you feel about people who say that they are DC natives, but they actually live in Upper Marlboro? Tell the truth. Tell the truth. I live in Tacoma Park. I live in Upper Marlboro. I live in Bethesda. I live in Rockville. Are they from DC, Dean?
I will tell them this. Where were you born? That's the first.
That's right.
Born in the district, Maryland, or Northern Virginia, you are not a true DMV.
Yes.
When you're years down the road, you can call yourself a true DMV. But if you're born in this area, you're not a true DMV. And I told them, I'm a true Beltway baby. I was born in the district.
Yes.
Raised in Maryland. I currently live in Northern Virginia. So I am the Beltway baby.
That's exactly what it is. I love it. I was born in Adams. Actually, I was born at George Washington University Hospital. So it doesn't get more DC than that, right? Raised in Adams Morgan. All my aunties had me spending summer right by Howard off of Georgia Ave. And then my parents eventually moved to Bethesda and I went to all the DC prep schools. So I don't think it gets more DC than that. I'm with you, Dean.
Absolutely, absolutely. So aside from the mamba sauce, have you visited DC recently?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So my sister still lives in the area.
Yeah.
I actually never really left the DMV. After I sort of finished school, I went to Hopkins. So I just moved to Baltimore, and then I met my husband there, and we spent 7 years living in Baltimore, and that's where we met our girls. So I mean, we are really DC natives, and so we always make it back up to visit family, to visit our sisters, to go to a crab boil. We got to get some crabs.
Yeah.
That's how we do cookouts. Out here they serve hot dogs, and I'm like, where's the Old Bay?
You're right. You're
truth, so that's all part of it too. So we'll be back up there this summer for sure, because I only know one way to do summer, and that's with some go-go music, mumbo sauce, and a nice bushel of crabs.
Like a true DMVer, absolutely.
Yes.
So I have a feeling people know where you are, but for those who do not, where can they find the great Nicole? Where can we find you? Other than
on She's the Boss, right? Other than on She's the Boss, you can find me at NicoleWalters.com. And I'm actually Nicole Walters all over social, on Twitter, on Instagram, you name it. You can find me, and I'm always there hanging out and making you laugh.
And last thing, since I know I'm almost running out of time, what would you like to say to the people, the millions of viewers, the thousands of followers, the people who grew up in the DMV? We know who you are. Thank you for following you and being with you on the journey. What would you like to say to them?
I would love to say, thank you for supporting our family for so long. That's where I started. If it wasn't for the, millions of internet aunties and internet uncles that have helped me collectively raise this village of children, we wouldn't be where we are. And I'll never lose sight of that. And I'm just so grateful. So stay tuned, stay on the journey. And I'm hoping I honor your love and support every single day.
And I hope we have a season 2. I mean, the show is getting good ratings from what I've heard. And I hope we get a season 2 next year on the USA Network.
Perfect. Me too. Thank you so much. I can't wait to come back and chat with you. You're like the best.
Well, thank you. You are the best too. One of the best interviews I had in 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, like I say, Nicole Walters, star of She's the Boss. Catch her Thursday nights. We have a few more episodes left in the season, so if you haven't checked it out, Thursday nights, 10:30, 9:30 Central on the USA Network. And NicoleWalt.com. Make sure you check her out online. Thank you very much, Nicole. It is great talking to our fellow DMVer. We miss you. Come back to us,
Thanks, team.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.